Butch is back with me now. We're going to hop into Brady and what happened in New Orleans in a bit, but clearly a ton to talk about regarding what happened in Foxborough today. And I just want to know, you were there. I was not there, only limited to 2 people. So we had you and our photographer, Bob Goodale, there today. What was it like inside that building?
It was strange. It really was strange for a lot of reasons. First of all, you know, we've seen basketball, hockey, and baseball with no fans now. But you're the biggest football fan in the world. You go to a stadium and it's empty. It's like being in the Grand Canyon. You can hear everything. The game's not meant to be played without fans, so it was just really strange, Tom.
We watched the telecast and we hear some crowd noise. Frankly, I don't know if it's being pumped in at the stadium or if it's being pumped in at the telecast. What did it sound like? Was there crowd noise there?
No, there was no crowd noise there. It was just different. The other media members and I looked at each other after a touchdown. Go, did something good just happen? Like, because you're so conditioned to hear cheers and boos, and the crowd is too. You saw Cam Newton after his first touchdown, how he celebrated, wanted to do the Superman thing, wanted to look down. He looked up into the crowd. There's nobody there. Tom, it was just strange.
He gave us a little Wakanda, I think. That was the tribute this time. But let's hop into Cam. I was obviously very impressed. I think most of us are. He was in control. He was in command. He was very focused. And it's different, but it's what you expected. It shows the versatility of Belichick and the versatility of McDaniels.
So let's talk about his running for a minute, and here's what I mean. He ran 15 times. It's the second most he's run in his career. He ran for 75 yards. That's more than a Patriots quarterback's run since Steve Grogan, right? Okay, did we get the answer to what the Patriots are going to do this year? Do we expect him to run 15 times every game?
No, I think what they're going to do is what they've always done. They're going to do whatever it takes to win that game. And I think today they looked at this Miami defense and they said that this is a game that Cam Newton can take advantage of what they do defensively, and we can get him on the move. I'm not a huge fan generally of the RPO, and I hate it when a quarterback sticks the ball into a running back's gut, and I don't know if the running back's going to get it or the quarterback's going to keep it. I just think it's a risky proposition in general that leads to turnovers. But we're going to see some of that, and that was the answer today. It may not be the answer next week.
My 2 cents on that RPO, it was actually like sort of a draw sweep type of thing, right? But I think Josh is setting stuff up. I think he wants that on film to show Cam doing that, stick it in somebody's belly, and all they do is run. And the next thing you know, Cam's dropping back to pass after that.
There's always a trick up the sleeve, and I think that the old reliable was the old reliable today. Julian Edelman was exactly what you expected. He was there when you needed him to be there. The biggest key to me in the game, and this goes back to something we should talk about. Let's talk about N'Keal Harry later, but the drive that they put together once Miami got within 3 to make it 14-11, I thought that was huge. Fourth quarter, ate up a ton of clock, went down the entire length of the field. Cam Newton was completely in control and then capped it off with a touchdown that basically put the nail in the coffin.
Well, I think if you look at the entire second half, it was Patriots football. They made adjustments against a guy that knows them really well and beat them last year. How about the opening drive to start the second half? I believe in the first 2 drives, he went 8 for 8. He completed 3 passes to Julian Edelman on that opening drive in the second half, which was the N'Keal Harry thing at the end, which changed everything. A 15-point swing.
Seems like we're going to get into that shortly, doesn't it?
But I was impressed with the whole second half and the way Newton adjusted with the Patriots, because that's all they talked about this week.
Let's just talk about it, because we've both brought it up now. Being that close to the goal line and turning it over in the fashion that N'Keal Harry did, it's just an inexcusable mistake. I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass today, because you know what? That's the type of mistake you might make in your first preseason game. It's the type of mistake you might make when you see some game action, and they didn't have that this summer. So that's something that you're taught, you're coached. They could look at it on tape and say, like, listen, get down. You're on the 1-yard line. Take what they give you. The offense is going to get it in. But to stretch the way he stretched and make yourself exposed as he did and give up the ball, he learned firsthand what can happen.
Frustrating. Oh, that's the word producer Chad Amaral used before this segment as we were talking and said about N'Keal Harry. He's really getting frustrating. You look at Julian Edelman. 7th-round draft pick, was a quarterback, and is a self-made guy in the pros. You look at N'Keal Harry, 1st-round pick, all the talent in the world. He's a knucklehead on the field a lot of times here,
so
Tom.
far. Yes, still young in my book.
I think
Don't
the coaching
bury him
staff,
yet.
I'm not burying him yet. I'm just saying I think this is not an isolated incident. There's other things that he does. You know, last year Tom Brady got frustrated with him. He rounds his patterns when he runs still. I mean, That's a bad play right there. Bad play.
Horrible play. The leash just got a bit shorter. There's no question about that, but who's going to step up? And do they just stop throwing to the receivers? I don't think that's going to happen. I think that Newton wants to see Harry become one of his targets, wants to see him be a dangerous option for this offense. So I don't think he's going to not look his way like Brady didn't look his way last year. I don't foresee Cam Newton be that kind of quarterback. Do you?
No.
All right.
I don't. Let's jump in with a couple of things. Let me throw this at you. Let me give you something I saw today that I really liked, and then you can give me the same thing, too. I'm going to give you two guys on defense, Anthony Jennings and Chase Winovich. Chase Winovich, can he be an every down player? He sure looked like it today, Tom. He was putting pressure on Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's a guy who's always got a heavy motor going. He was great today. Anthony Jennings had a Dante Hightower-like tackle on the goal line today. He's an Alabama guy. Hightower's gone. I know it's a stretch. But the kid played. Josh Uche from Michigan didn't, and Jennings did. Those are two guys I liked.
Okay, he's not going to be the NFL's rushing leader, but I see J.J. Taylor enter the game and do what he did. And the first thing I said is, J.J. Taylor is blank. Who do you think I said?
Dave Meggett.
Yes. Did you say?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, without a doubt, it reminded me clearly.
Karen,
you know, Bill Belichick was on Bill Parcells' staff when Dave Meggett broke out with the New York Giants, and I just see the stature, I see the speed, I see the explosiveness, I see the ability to hide behind a line with that minute 5'6" frame, and I think that J.J. Taylor can do everything Dave Meggett did and more, considering he's probably even faster than Meggett was.
Well, he's returning kicks. Not that anybody returns kicks anymore because they all kick him out of the end zones. I wonder if they'll put him back for punt returns because he's one of those open field. Do you ever see his college highlights? Oh, my goodness. He was ridiculous in college. He makes guys miss. So that's an unheralded guy that may end up making this team.
It just makes you think that the coaching staff just chuckles. They're like, we're good, people. We're good. And now here we are, 1-0. The Bucs are 0-1. Your take on Tom Brady's performance today? I mean, the pick six by Janoris Jenkins was a killer.
Brady's not afraid to throw a pick six, though. That doesn't bother me. Here's my first take on Brady. Remember this game, because I think you're going to see it again in the playoffs. And I think Tampa's going to be a completely different team at the end of the year. I'm sounding like a Brady toady. I thought he was frustrated today. I thought you saw, you know, that New Orleans is a really good team. That was a bee's nest going in there trying to win that game. That was tough. And they put a lot of pressure on Brady. And they did a really good job. They deserve to win that game today. Yeah. But I think it's frustrating for a lot of people watching Brady today.
A certain level of concern if you are becoming a Buccaneers fan that Mike Evans is barely involved. He gets on the score sheet with a touchdown late. But also, it's not like Tom and Gronk picked up right where they left off in the Super Bowl.
I was shocked by that today. I got to eat some crow because I figured that Gronk was going to be your fantasy points leader today. He was going to have 2 touchdowns, 12 catches. Brady was going to be targeting him. But wow. It starts, you know what the talk nationally is going to be. Brady's too old, Gronk's washed up. Bring it on. Bring it on. That's all the talk shows are going to talk about this week nationally.
Overreaction Monday is coming our way tomorrow. It's great to be talking football, and I know it was a weird day, but good to have you back here, and here we go.
Yeah, good to talk football with you too, Tom.